We're getting a first look at the proposed maps of California's redrawn congressional districts. This is part of Governor Gavin Newsom's plan to deliver more Democrats to the U.S. House of Representatives. And that is in direct response to efforts by Texas Governor Greg Abbott to redistrict in favor of Republicans. California has 52 seats in the U.S. House of Representatives, and that number is not changing. 9 of them are being held by Republicans. And these proposed maps are targeting Republican representatives like Kevin Kiley of Rockland, Doug LaMalfa of Richville and the northeast portion of the state, David Valadao of Bakersfield, Darrell, Issa representing portions of San Diego and Riverside counties, and Ken Calvert of the Inland Empire. And those 5 stand to lose their seat, and only 4 Republicans remain in what is being considered safe districts. And some Democrats in swing districts will find themselves in safer Democratic strongholds. And now the reaction is pouring in. Supporters say it protects Democrats in tough races. Critics call it gerrymandering at its worst. Paul Mitchell, the consultant who drew the map, says his work tries to build on what the California Independent Commission already created, but admits politics did play a role.
We have these 5 Democratic pickups, but we also have about 5 seats where we have Democrats who, maybe won by a couple hundred votes in the last election, and we can't afford for a Republican to pick that seat up and eat into these potential gains. So we did a lot to bolster Democratic candidates up and down the state that are potentially in tough races, like Adam Gray in the Central Valley.
But the lines he drew are drawing fire. Republican consultant and redistricting expert Matt Rexroad says they look more like political weapons than fair districts.
Well, this is a perfect example of why the voters took the line drawing of district maps throughout California away from politicians. It's an embarrassment, and it's a sheer power play by the governor. There's a district number 3, looks like the head of an elephant. Even a kindergartner would be able to pick out that it looks like an elephant, which is, once again, just playing political games.
Make some of these decisions.
Democratic strategist Andrew Acosta says the new lines may be effective, but not exactly inspiring confidence.
To dilute some of these Republican seats, they got to go find Democrats, and it looks like they've chopped the city of Sacramento up into smaller bites. This is going to be the question when voters see this. They're going to say, well, what does ESAC have to do with Tahoe? Or some version thereof, because this is what people would call gerrymandering, right? None of this is shocking to me, but the way they've done it is, counter to what we have talked about as far as transparency and good government.
That's going to be...
And Republican strategist Rob Stutzman says the Democrats aren't just looking to gain ground, they're trying to lock it down.
In a state where Republicans get about 40 to 42% of the vote in statewide elections, a minority, but a significant chunk of the state, these maps are going to yield about a 9% representation in Congress for Republicans. Maybe hardened Democrat partisans, sure, will get in line and think we're going to fight fire with fire. But you're basically saying because somebody else is, cheating, then we need to cheat as well. It kind of goes back to the fundamentals, like, well, what are you teaching your children about this type of pitch?
Now, most voters probably won't be paying much attention to redistricting, but if things are approved, they're going to be seeing a lot of ads. Now, the new district lines could spark unexpected campaigns with politicians eyeing new seats, and we'll be tracking this every step of the way. And coming up at 6, Alex Bell will break down how this process will work in the legislature. And Governor Newsom spoke at length about the redistricting plan on Thursday, and you can watch the governor's entire news conference anytime on the free ABC 10 Plus TV streaming app, and it is on the home screen.